Some analysis on this with TRt World's Turkey analyst Yusuf Erim. Yusuf, the consensus seems to be that Idlib's very future could depend on what happens in Tehran this Friday. But in the past, Recep Tayyip Erdogan has met the regime backers of Assad, Vladimir Putin and Hassan Rouhani. They've all agreed that there'll be A, de-escalation zone, B, de-escalation zone, C, de-escalation zone, and then Russian warplanes bomb those de-escalation zones. That's a tough challenge for Erdogan.
It is a tough challenge for Erdogan because, as you said, the fate of the previous 3 de-escalation zones resulted in a humanitarian disaster. And what Recep Tayyip Erdogan is trying to do is avoid this. And it's actually in everybody's best interest to avoid this. The last thing Russia wants is a destabilized Turkey, a Turkish border, a destabilized northern Syria, and it's also the last thing Europe wants. Europe's already having problems with migrant flows. What's going to happen to the 2.9 million people once massive regime offensive sparks a mass exodus from Idlib? So everyone needs to work together here, and I believe a decision could be reached where a limited offensive is allowed for the regime by Turkey, where Turkey can isolate the problematic groups that the regime views as dangerous to Idlib and to Syria, to the future of Syria.
And as far as the anti-Assad international coalition is concerned, what are you gauging from the way they're talking? Are these pleas to Assad, don't attack, or are there actual concrete kind of measures being announced to Assad that if you do, this will be the consequence?
Well, I don't think anyone can stop an offensive from this point on. It's inevitable. There's going to be an offensive. It's already started with Russian airstrikes. And Assad wants to take Idlib back. It's very important for him symbolically and strategically. It has the M4 and the M5 highways that connect Latakia to the east, that connect Aleppo to the south to Hama and Damascus. So it's vital for him, and he's going to try to take it back. There's going to be an offensive. The most important part, as I previously said, is limiting this offensive. Now, if this anti-Assad camp can, in some way, limit the offensive where Assad is happy, they could cater to his concerns, mainly being the HTS, Hayat Tahrir al-Sham group that Turkey has just also recently designated as a terrorist organization. If they can isolate that group and a limited Assad offensive, or maybe a Turkish-backed rebel offensive, can take that group out and please Assad, where Assad has taken certain parts of Idlib, but the remaining part of Idlib can be in the hands of the opposition still, or Turkey can buy some time where they can formulate an agreeable solution. Then a humanitarian disaster could be averted, and maybe all sides can find a solution that everyone can live with.
Just briefly, Yusuf, if the regime were to retake control of Idlib, might it signal then a position from which Assad may care to negotiate a possible end to the war? Because everybody's been looking to a point where Assad would be ready to negotiate.
Well, if Assad does take Idlib, it will be a huge win for him. His hand will be very, very strong. He will have dominance over northwestern Syria now, and basically the only major areas of concern that will be left for him will be the Euphrates Shield and Afrin area, and east of the Euphrates, where the Americans and the SDF are in control. And yes, he probably would want to sit down and start dealing maybe even directly with Turkey, maybe even directly with the United States. East of the Euphrates is very important for Assad too. That's where all the oil is in the end, and he does want to get that oil back. So he will have to come to the table to negotiate sooner or later.
Okay. Yusuf Erim, thanks very much indeed.